BWOne here from BWOne, and in this video I'm going to give you my review of a PlayStation TV. Now in this review I'm going to be coming at the perspective of a customer that doesn't own a PS4. I know this PS4 link, I'm not really even going to focus on that part here. I'm really coming at this as a customer that's bought this, saw this on the shelf, read the box that said all you need to join the exciting world of PlayStation. I bought the bundle that comes with a controller and everything in it. I look at it as a gaming console, comes with a game, and I'm really focused on this is a new PlayStation console, and that's what I'm going to see as a consumer coming at this for the first time. So that's how we're going to focus this review here. If you want a little more technical details and such, definitely check out our unboxing, setup, and first impressions video. It's going to have more of that in there. So definitely click the video link right up here above. I'll probably put it here somewhere. You can check that out and click on that. Watch this full video first and head over and watch that as well too if you want a little more technical aspect. But without further ado, let's jump into the review here. First thing I want to talk about is the hardware, which I'm really impressed with. It's really impressive how small this little console here is for its size. I thought it'd be a little bigger than this. It's very small, compact, pocketable. If you want to take it around here with you, you have a full HDMI port, full Ethernet port. You have your USB port there. You have your Vita memory card, so you can have your storage right there on the side, and then you have your full PS Vita slot here on the side here to put your games in, which is pretty cool. If you have Vita games, you can put them right there on the Vita card and play them right off the system here. It's pretty cool. I really like it. I almost call it award-winning design. It's just really impressive. It's that Sony look and feel. When Sony makes something just so sleek and nice, and it has a very powerful aspect to it, I really have to say Sony done a really good job in here, and it's stylish looking as well too. It's not sort of that blocky sort of square that the Amazon Fire TV sort of is. This is sort of something that you wouldn't mind people kind of seeing on your TV mount or on your TV stand and such. So it's pretty cool. Now the disappointing thing about it though, however, is that when you get the bundle, it comes with a DualShock 3 controller. It makes absolutely no sense that this comes with a DualShock 3 controller. Where in the future Sony include DualShock 4 if you want people to buy the PS4. It's obviously supposed to be kind of a gateway to getting that. Makes no sense that you're including this controller, just not at all. Nice that you include HDMI and some other things that you need, but DualShock 4, DualShock 4, not DualShock 3. You need to change the bundle on that there a little bit. So as far as hardware, so I'm pretty impressed with this, as I'm saying right there. Good job on Sony's part here. Now, let's go into the PlayStation TV itself in terms of the software interface. It is basically the Vita, and that's kind of disappointing in a little bit of ways here. So the interface itself looks like pretty much the high-res or somewhat semi-scaled version of the PS Vita interface, which isn't really made to be HD. You can put this in HD and it doesn't really look that much better because it's the native interface. It's sort of Sony getting stuck into what I feel it does a lot of doing. It has a great idea of something and then it slaps on something old onto something new and try to repackage it out to you. The interface is kind of confusing, kind of mixed to jumbled around. It still has a look of being a touchscreen interface, but you can still do things with the controller and it will kind of guide you around a little bit. But if you own a Vita, it's the exact same interface. It's a little disappointing that Sony didn't really do something to sort of customize this a little better. And that's what I want Sony to do. Sony, the next time, you really guys need to send an update to this to give PlayStation TV its own interface. Similar to when you see with the Amazon Fire TV. Fire TV has its own sort of interface. It looks cool, it looks nice, has entertainment aspect to it, and then has a quality gaming with it as well too. So that's kind of disappointing there. Also with the software, that you can't get Hulu, you can't get Netflix without having a PS4 link to it. You can't even get YouTube. Even if you can download a YouTube app through the store, the YouTube feature won't work on this because it's not going to work with PlayStation TV. Kind of disappointing there as well too. I thought this kind of be sort of like an entertainment based device, and it's really not focused at being that, unfortunately. You can get movies and stuff and TV shows from the PlayStation Store, but it's not like Sony makes that very obvious. They kind of say, hey, it's there, we kind of have it there, but they don't really make it something that you really want to notice and want to use. It's there and available, but you don't see Sony's unlimited music or unlimited movies beta. They have a couple of cool features, but they don't really push it out there for it to be there, so you wouldn't really know about it. So disappointing. Not much more the entertainment aspect of it. I know some of you are going to argue, well, it's a gaming console. For what you're spending these days, game consoles really should be able to do much more than just game, even these small ones here, especially in the competition that this is really going to be competing against and its target market, and the market's going to be classed in. It really should be having that from the jump with some type of entertainment apps outside of Sony's interface and just present it a little bit better. All right, with that being said there, in terms of software, really what you guys are going to be focused on is the gaming. So let's take a look at some of the gaming here. So I first started gaming with the Lego movie that came out, and I started playing the game. It's made for the Vita, but you can download it and it'll work on PlayStation TV. And for the most part, the game plays pretty decently. It's a fun game to play. The resolution looks okay on a 40-inch TV. I have a 40-inch TV here, and it's okay, not as sharp as you would like it to be. I kind of expect a little bit better, but not. It's still a little bit grainy, as I want to say here with it. I even tried it on a smaller, my computer monitor I plugged it into, tried it at about a 27-inch level, and it was still kind of was a little not what you expect. It definitely feels like they're just kind of stretching out the resolution to sort of make it semi-work on the system, which is disappointing to say the least, because there are some games I was going to compare it to on the Amazon Fire TV that look better than some of these games that aren't Android-based games. These are real full games, and the ones on here look on the Amazon Fire TV look better, such as I think Asphalt 8. And you look at this and like, come on, what's really going on here? Now the games do look a little bit better once you hit some games like Dead or Alive. I play a little bit of Dead or Alive as well, and that looks pretty good. And some of the cool aspects, animations, and it has, Dead or Alive kind of has that way of the different angles you could fight in a different sort of multi-leveled interactive environment, and it was pretty cool to see some of those specials, the combos. Most of them was me getting hit by them because I'm not a very good Dead or Alive player, but it's pretty cool to see. So it looks pretty good. The resolution looked a little bit better when playing that, but not exactly to where you kind of were hoping it to be. Now let's sort of take a look at some other element of the game, which is the PlayStation Now, which is something that a lot of people are going to be pretty big on here, which is kind of what this device is sort of meant to kind of bring in. This is really all about bringing out PlayStation Now. We tried the open beta. We tried playing with God of War, and we did it over wireless. Now, I know some people had a terrible wireless experience with this. Some other reviewers that I've seen, I've actually had a pretty positive wireless experience playing this and streaming games over with this. Granted, I had a console right next to my wireless router, so that could help, but it looked pretty good. I played God of War Ascension, and it looked very, very good. It played very well. I didn't notice any lag. The game was fun. It felt like I was playing right on a PlayStation 3 console. I didn't really feel anything different. Going through the menu interface, getting to it through the PlayStation beta interface is a little on the slow side. Obviously, it's in beta, so that made it could speed up over time. But actually playing the game, it was a lot of fun. And like I said, I really didn't notice any lag. You can see some of the action that's sort of going on here in the game, and it was pretty much a very fun experience. I felt that I could still continue to play this if I wanted to, even though PlayStation Now's pricing is really a little suspect. I played 4 hours for $5. It's just way too much money. They need to come with some type of a la carte, all-you-can-eat sort of service at a certain price per month would be a lot better than what they're sort of offering here with it. So for PlayStation Now, for me, was a pretty positive experience, and I used it over a wireless connection. Now, with that being said, while that was fast, downloading stuff is actually relatively slow. I was finding when I was downloading games such as Dead or Alive 5, it took 30 to 45 minutes. It actually took about an hour to download it. And what was weird was when I kind of left and the console kind of went to sleep, I figured I had the settings where it would kind of just download overnight. It stopped downloading for whatever reason. So I had to go back and still complete the download. And it was like 30 minutes later. And this is a 2.5 gigabyte game, and that's too long. I never really understood why Sony was sort of doing that. It was just very, very weird, and it was just very weird on the download speeds. I wish it was a little bit faster. They need to figure out a way to either make the servers faster, find some way to get these games faster to console than what they are. Some of the Vita-based games are a little bit smaller. They do download a little bit faster, but you're gonna want to play these big games here, and they shouldn't really be this slow to download. Also, speaking of that, it's very pitiful. They only give you an 8 gigabyte card inside of this, and it's locked to the PlayStation Vita cards. Annoying. I'm sorry. Proprietary memory is just a very foolish thing these days, especially when a lot of people are getting to using USB external drives on the bigger consoles. It should have micro SD card, or maybe even a full SD card. Micro SD card probably preferred, something that everyone has, and they can just put it in there and get their own amount of storage, because that's going to entice them to want to buy more content when they want to have more storage. Because if you think about this right now, this is, you know, $139 for this package. And it comes with an 8 GB card. You're gonna need more than that. Let's say you want to get a 32 GB card. Right now on Amazon it's listed for $67, but its normal retail price, if you're someone that doesn't shop on Amazon or doesn't price around, it's gonna be $99. So you're already at $239 for this already. So you think about it, a $239 price tag, it's about another $100 or so to a full PlayStation 4. It's not that far away. Pricing on it just makes no sense, especially if you want to enjoy more games on the system and the console, but and movies and such. But that just doesn't make any sense. You know, Sony, get rid of the proprietary cards. I know you guys love doing that, but use something everyone was using as a standard it already has, so you don't have to buy something extra. Then they might use that money to buy games and movies and extra content, because that's where you're actually going to make the money. So that's kind of my overall view of the PlayStation TV in terms of the gaming aspect with it. And what I really think this console is, in a way, it's not so much, I think, the gateway, or what Sony was saying was the gateway into the world of PlayStation. I think it's more or less what it reminds me a lot of. Remember when Nintendo had the Game Boy attachment to the GameCube that allowed you to take the Game Boy games and put it and play it on the big screen? That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of you being able to put your Vita games on there and play them on the big screen. It's okay, that's cool, but I don't think it's worth the price tag that they're putting this on for that just yet. It's for somebody that, if you're a big Vita fan, you have a lot of Vita games, and you really want to take this and put this on a console, and you want to play it on a big screen, this is perfect for what you're doing. If you have a PS4, just get the $99 version, so you can just stream if you want to use it for PS4 Link. But in my perspective, as I'm looking at it as a consumer that's buying this as a gaming console straight off the jump, there's a lot of other sort of little set-top pieces like this that are a little bit better. This is acting like a gaming console, while a lot of other devices that compete with this sort of add like a smart TV with a gaming element to it, which I would have thought Sony would have sort of went after with this. Disappointingly didn't. I guess I gotta recommend the Fire TV as one of those options that's giving you the entertainment, but also gives you pretty good solid gaming as well. We have the Nexus player coming from Google soon, and that looks like that's going to be a pretty good competitor that kind of gives you both here. I know Android gaming is a little bit different versus this type of gaming with Sony and the PlayStation being a dedicated gaming console. You're going to get a much richer and usually a richer and a better game out of it, but with these sort of devices coming out and streaming available, who's to say Android can't do the same thing just for those particular consoles? So my final thoughts on this is a little bit of a mixed bag. Sony, I think you've done a good job in the packaging of this, the idea of this, but the execution is just not where it should be. It just makes me wonder sort of what Sony is sort of thinking here. I remember they sort of said not too long ago that, yeah, we were selling all these PlayStation 4s, but we're not exactly sure where they're and where our consumers are coming from. That was a very alarming thing to me. That means they're not quite sure what the consumers want here. I think they know people want these little set-top boxes to make their TVs a little smarter and have some gaming aspect to it, but what I don't think they understand here is that you really got to tailor this to that particular type of environment. You need to you need to really make this this should really mimic what the PS4 has for interface. That's what it should have. It's a pretty cool interface. You really should have Netflix, Hulu, and streaming media services on here, including your own that you need to promote more on this little box right here. You should also have available better, high-res looking games, and make sure that everyone has a great experience using PlayStation Now over wireless, because people aren't going to want to plug this in. They're going to use this over a wireless connection. So that's pretty much my summary of the PlayStation TV. It's hard to kind of recommend right now. Like I said, it's for people that are in the Vita ecosystem. You have a PS Vita, you're going to love this thing. If you have a PlayStation 4 and you really need to play something in another room, you're going to love this thing. It's going to be great for you in that aspect of it. But if it's for a consumer, from the perspective I was coming from, which was a consumer that's buying this for the first time, that sees that I don't own a gaming console, this looks like a cheap gaming console and I want to try and use it, it's just not quite there yet. So let me know what you guys think. Post your comments below. Let me, let's get a good discussion here. Be nice to everyone here. I don't need anybody being a fanboy. Have a good, nice, legitimate discussion. Make some great points. Counterpoint each other. Let's have a good, positive discussion. I think we can help if Sony sees it, they maybe can help them out to making a little bit of a better product here the next go around. Also, if you find anyone is going to like this video, be sure to share it around. Definitely helps us out. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. Connect with us on all our social networks, including our main website at BWOne.com. The link to all of that is in the description. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.